This is Heather Philo. She currently works at Lakeshore Elementary as a kindergarten teacher, but has taught second grade and fifth grade. Okay, how much do you rely on textbooks to teach social studies?
None at all. At this particular school in this district, we do not have any social studies textbooks available to us.
Okay, do you use any local resources to teach social studies, or have you in the past?
Yes, a lot of our social studies comes in with field trips, sometimes guest visitors. Last year with the second graders, we had the blindness center came in and talked with them about the citizenship and how people as blind people live as citizens and things like that, brought some awareness to them about the fact that there are other people with differences in the world. I know with kindergarten this year, we've been on a field trip where they had a chance to go to the Discovery Center and sort of learn more about community and being a citizen and part of a community and that social interaction. So field trips, yes.
How do you integrate standards into the social studies curriculum?
Pretty much everything these days is taught through integration because of the requirements at federal, state, and district levels, and there's so much we're trying to get in and only so much time we can get it all in. So a lot of things are integrated. I use, in the past, I have used a lot of writing and reading about social studies topics. This year, with the younger kids in kindergarten, we are doing some of that same writing about things, while teaching them the grammar and English language skills of writing, constructing a sentence. We're also writing about things that are related to our social studies topics.
Do you think it is important for your students to study social studies, and why?
Oh, absolutely, because, you have to have an awareness of the whole world. You need to understand the social aspects and cultures around the world. You need to understand things that have happened historically that have affected our society and how we live today. Um, they just need to be aware of that. And so not only by learning about it, but even trying to experience it or get a grasp for those other cultures when possible.
Okay, what are some strategies that you use when you are teaching social studies?
Differentiation, try to keep it at the appropriate levels for the different kids in the classroom, try to use technology, hands-on, a lot of interactive engagement, getting out of the seats, that kind of thing. And again, integrating it with reading skills, math skills, language skills, wherever we can, just to keep the other skills in there as well.
How did you yourself learn to do integrated interdisciplinary teaching?
Well, that's definitely evolved throughout my career. When I started 18 years ago, everything was very isolated, and over the years, because, again, like I said earlier, because of the district, state, federal requirement type things, and having so many standards that need to be taught in your different content areas and so little time to do it in some days, you just learn to make it all mesh together. It's really sort of been like I said, an evolution over through my career and through observing other teachers who do it and working together with colleagues to make it happen.
What are 2 to 3 major concerns that you have about social studies education today?
That sometimes it is sort of falls to the side. That would definitely be my most major concern. While we teach it these days, I've noticed at the younger grade levels, there's not specific blocks of time set aside for social studies as much as there used to be. I know as the kids get older in middle school and high school, they have more specific classes on it, but at the younger levels right now, I feel like a lot of it is, it's just, if we read about it during guided reading or read aloud, we're counting on it to be integrated in and never taking a specific block of time for it.
Okay, and how comfortable are you yourself with teaching social studies?
I feel pretty comfortable, especially at this level. I'm not having to teach any major history or anything, grand. I'm really just trying to help kids understand
their role as a citizen, things like that. So it's really, at this age, it's teaching them to be a good person, have good social skills, that kind of thing. So I feel pretty comfortable with that.
Okay, and how often do you teach social studies and why?
In the integrated format, I think it's there every day. Even sitting at a table and learning how to be a good citizen and work with your neighbors, how to recognize that it's okay for others to be different than you or to have similarities with them. I mean, that's there all the time. Um, you know, just I think it's there a little bit every single day, thankfully.
How do you typically teach a social studies lesson?
Well, like I said, at this age level, it's not isolated. There are very few isolated social studies lessons. Typically, if I do feel like I'm focusing in on one of our social studies skills, it's through, I often start with a read aloud, do a mini lesson, or talk with the group from there.
That kind of thing. Videos, we use some of that kind of stuff too.
Okay, and I know that you had mentioned that you do integrate social studies with other subject areas. Just name a few of those subjects. I think you have as well, but just give a little more detail about what subjects you do integrate with social studies and how you may do that. Maybe an example of a lesson you may teach.
Sure. I'm trying to think about a specific one that we've done recently. I'm drawing a little bit of blank since we haven't been in school a whole lot lately.
Okay, definitely in our, I would say more specifically in our English language arts block right now, we are trying to use sort of that
model where the students are having more of a center time. Through that, there's the housekeeping district, housekeeping center.
the housekeeping center where they go when they're learning about how to work with others and how to face those challenges, how to talk with others, how to work with others. There's the moving about the space in the room, and then even in our writing center, we almost always have some kind of prompt or task that requires them to write about something related to our social studies.
Okay, well, I really appreciate your time, Miss Philo. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.